Good evening. We are, what, about 20 minutes before starting? Is that about right? I'm not? I was just a second ago. Huh? I'm on, I should be, it's on this side that you'll see it. I'm pretty sure I am. About right here, should be able to see it. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're live. And we do appreciate everybody joining us. We'll be starting the event here in just a few moments. We've got everybody setting up their tents all around the area. Odie's watching the camera in the background to make sure that we're live and right. We do hope you'll come down. We've got a lot of folks that are starting to stir. Hey there. And so we're going to stay up with the feed, and we should be coming here in just a little bit. We're going to put the mic back. Spunky, you want to be on? You want to be online? So I need to move over this way. We're getting sunlight. Yeah. How about if what about back here? Nope. All right. We may have to just move the camera. This is roughly, I think, where everybody's going to be speaking. Right here. Sun's going down. All right, just kind of a good view from where everybody's going to be. Okay. Can everybody hear? I hope so. We're going to raise this up just a little bit. That should be kind of par for everybody. Test, test, test. I think so. Yep, we're still up and live. Okay, that will work. All right, we're going to leave everything up. We're going to leave the stream up, and we'll be set for everything starting here in just a little while. So, what are we at? 6:10. We start in 20 minutes. So we'll be panning the crowd, letting you see what everybody's doing. Whew, I felt a breeze. Did y'all feel that? Cameraman. Can you see pretty good there, Odie? Y'all just didn't know Odie was a cameraman. That makes two of us. Oh. Let's see. Now I may end up walking out there to talk. Well, I mean, you look good right there. So, hey. The only problem is if I stay here, they can't hear me on there because the microphone. I guess I could move it back and forth. That's for the candidates. If I move.
Well, if needed, make it to over here. So you can just take it off and move it, and then put it back when they come up.
this around so it doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, it's I just turned it back on. Testing 2 3. Test 2 3. All right, we're getting ready. 15 minutes from going live with the event downtown Meridian. Okay. Okay. Test 2 3. Test 2 3. See if you see the audio level coming through the computer there. Test 2 3. Test. It'd be toward the bottom of the screen. It is showing. Good, good. We're about 15 minutes away if you're watching from home. The Stump event that is coming up tonight. Join us, won't you? Big crowd down here. First 100 is going to get some free catfish. Woo! Catfish plates. That's over here to my left. If you're looking on the camera there, it's right over to the back of us there. So we're ready. We'll start. Let's see. The camera says 10 minutes from now. We'll go live in 10 minutes. Y'all be ready. But what's the latest? 10 minutes out. Clay bounds. Don Bounds, Mel Bounds, construction. That family. He's been in West Virginia. Just got called. Got him back down to the same. That's cool. So glad. Trying to get Sean. But it was great. He knows of him. Don't know him on a person. His advice. You've been saying this. Snow melt. Problem is it's California. Yeah, buddy, we just have to put it all. Oh, come on. For two? For two. $2. What? Have you been to a five guy? A long time. They I don't know what he was saying. How are you? I know it's on Facebook. It shows it over there. Everything good over there? I don't know that this is true. Ryan called me and said that I've got audio on Facebook and no audio on YouTube. That don't sound like that. Not true. Okay. All right. I'll just scratch what he said. Let me walk back over there and take it. I think I turned it back on this second. Yeah, it's on now. Should be hot hot, and go. Test 2 3, test 2 3, test 2 3, testing 2 3. Can you hear me now?
Okay. So then you know this one's
Right.
irksome.
Gotcha. That's good. Okay. All right, that's what I need to know. Thanks.
We're gonna move Jeff to 803. Michael Cassidy, who does not have an opponent, wants to speak for a few minutes.
Right above him.
Yeah, he's my representative. Charlie, do you know what office he's running for?
It's Michael Ted's office, but I can't tell you what it was.
Oh man, I can tell you right now. It's on the house.
See, I missed it. Damn, we wrong on
Around here somewhere, politics.
Republican Mississippi House District. Waited till the last second. Yeah, just put them up at the end. And I was trying to pull them off my head. I'm gonna crack that mic. Yeah. I'm gonna move it up.
Tied it around there so it didn't pull the field.
Yeah. Is there enough? May have to give it just a little bit. We're gonna do everything from up here.
And then when you start going,
Yeah, I can just hold my papers and stand here and thank goodness that heat went down. Do a test audio here. Test. Everybody hear me pretty good? Just a few moments away from starting.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first ever
Lauderdale County Republican Party Stump Speech. I want to thank everybody for being out here tonight. You'll get to hear from all of our Republican candidates. You'll get to hear about their visions for Lauderdale. Let's turn it up, son. Turn it up. Can you hear me back there now? We're good. There we go. There we go. So you're going to be able to hear from all of our candidates tonight and hear a little bit about the vision they have for Lauderdale County. I'm going to go over a couple announcements before we get started and kicked off here. Scotty Ray has mentioned it. If you go to the white tents over here, you can get your food and beverage tickets. And you can go over here and Zach's Catfish has some plates for you. As well as our Coke trailer over here, you can get your cold beverages there. I also would like to make the announcement to encourage you, if you are feeling led to get involved with the Republican Party, to please reach out to anybody sitting at those white tents or myself, and we would love to talk to you about opportunities to get involved. Without further ado, I want to introduce Pastor Tom Sykes. He will deliver our invocation.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, you created the heavens and the earth with words. Let there be light, and it was good. Your words bring vision and hope, community, communication, and commitment. Thank you, O God, for those words that breathe new life. Thank you, O God, for tonight, for the emptying of ego and the call to service. With each season, you whisper words to certain people to get up and go, to step up and step outward, not to step on opponents, but to walk humbly with you, recreating a new Genesis out of the void and despair. We need you, God, to bring peace out of pain, safety and security and trust. We need you, God, to breathe new life into our community with people who offer honest speech, words that cut into our culture with the effects of uniting and encouraging this generation with compassion and courage. And so tonight, we pause to receive your presence. We thank you for these candidates who have answered your call. Bless them and their families and their teams, for we are all here to help Meridian be better. Whether we win or not, we're citizens here with the capacity to be catalysts for love out of hate. To you be the glory as we hear words passionately delivered to grow our community with unity. In the name of Christ we pray, amen.
Thank you, Pastor Tom. If I could have everyone please stand and remove all headwear, we're going to join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're going to start the speeches here at 6:45, so you've got a few minutes if you want to make your way over to Zach's Catfish and go ahead and get your food and take this time to speak with any of our Republican Party officials or any of the candidates, please do so. And again, thank you all for coming.
Yes. That's why, if you'll notice, I never wear headphones or anything. I just go with it, and it'll be all right. Somebody tell me about it. Oh, you hear us?
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Oh, yeah. Just go across the ring.
You were the first one to speak.
Really? Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe 650-ish. I'm the first one. Going down the ballot.
Yeah, State Representative, you hit Ben Shirley. You first one. My problem is, if I forget all what I got in my head and trying to backtrack to get where I was.
Obviously, I was hosting people. Brown. You would think, and there's always people like Scotty. Oh yeah, older people watch that. I think that's really.
We have to turn and watch it over and over. I'm over here. I'm over. It's like yeah.
That's a good idea. You remember the years ago when they used to have that confidence show?
I used to do it.
You know, you have like all those people up there.
We were doing
Bill Reeves.
This is Debbie used to then hit my feet when I was trying to throw me off while I was talking. Holy moly. Well, I'm glad I get my nerves. You'll be fine with that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of them try to get people to start coming over this way. You think they'll just do that often?
Yeah. How are you? It's getting cooler.
Good evening. On behalf of the Republican Party of Lauderdale County, I'd like to welcome you all here. I'm Tyler Norman, Chairman of the Lauderdale County Republican Party. I want to thank all those that helped get this organized over the last month, 6 weeks. I especially want to thank Marty Graham and Meridian Coca-Cola for the donation of the drinks. And I want to thank Zach's Catfish and Chicken for cooking for us tonight. I want to say a thing, and Charlie touched on this a little bit a while ago. We've got a tent for volunteers. There's several sign-up sheets. Miss Margaret over there and Dr. Thomas in the tent. We always need volunteers to put stuff on like this. The same 4, 5, 6 people cannot do every event. We'd like to have every event that we can, or as many as we can every year. We need poll watchers. We need people to help put out signs. We need those to work the telephone banks and so forth. So if you get a chance, please go over there and see in the white tent Dr. Thomas or Ms. Ramey to sign up. Another thing too, the catfish plates are free. We do appreciate any kind of donation. The party, the main thing that we spend money on every 4 years is we buy the entire county's presidential signs. And that's a pretty large expense. So that's part of our fundraising that we do throughout that 4-year period, is raising money to purchase several thousand signs. I really want to thank Scotty Ray Boyd for being our moderator tonight. He's done a great job promoting this, and we could be more thrilled to have him here. So without further ado, please give a big Republican welcome to Scotty Ray Boyd.
You know, I think I got to be honest about that. I don't remember the last time I was called Scotty Ray Boyd. You know, you go to the doctor, Mr. Boyd, where you come back, and I just kind of stand there. I've always had that Southern name to where it was a double name no matter what I did. Y'all are a good-looking crowd tonight. We got our camps all set up. And if you're over to my right, y'all make your way this way so we can look at you. As we get this going, keep in mind that each candidate will have about 3 minutes to talk. So if you've got a question for them, let them do their 3 minutes. When they come off the stage, you're more than welcome to go up to them and talk to them. If you want to get an eyeball to eyeball, got a question for them, they'd love to, I'm sure, talk to you. Now, you're going to notice as folks come up, they got a lot of tans. These folks have been out knocking on doors, and it's tough. I've heard of cat. How many candidates been attacked by a cat so far? I know there's been some rooster attacks and some dogs. We've been there. I had a rooster I had to take care of not long ago that didn't like me. Whew. I am each morning, I don't know if y'all know Odie in the bright pink, our big cameraman here. He is co-host with me as we do the Scotty Ray Report. We try to bring you an unbiased report every day of what happens in our area, whether it's in Lauderdale County, Kemper, and all the adjoining counties. We try to let you know exactly what's going on. I hope you'll join us. It's easy to do. YouTube, you can throw it on your TV, since we're not on TV anymore. We've been banned from a few places before. I'm no stranger to the rain, as Keith Whitley said. It's all going to be okay. But I have learned this. This has been a long election fight, hasn't it? It's not over. Next Tuesday is going to be the end of this. Each one of you will get to choose who you want to be. There's so many different categories that you've got to choose when you walk behind that booth. And the worst thing, and I have done this, and I don't want this to happen to you, you walk in the booth and you look down and you go, who in the world is this? And this is what this is all about, so you'll know that who you're voting for, you're educated when you walk in there. All right, our first thing that I want to tell you what their job title is, what they do. Ben, I want you to get ready. I don't know where you're at, but you're going to be first on deck. Our state representative is going to be the first thing that steps up. There's 122 representatives in the House of Representatives, part of the legislative body of the Mississippi state government, the other being the Mississippi Senate. I've been over there a time too. Nice place. The purpose of the legislature is to create bills, vote on bills, serve on committees, and discuss bills and offer amendments to laws and pass bills in the House and the Senate. The legislature controls your state taxes, which is huge. Public employee pay. How many folks we got out here work for the government? Does affect you. State agency funding, when we need roads and highways and different things. Many aspects of the government. District 81 covers southern portions of Lauderdale County, northeastern portion of Clark County. The legislature convenes each year with sessions beginning the first Tuesday after the first Monday of January. They meet in January through March, about 90 days there, except the first year and term, which is a little bit longer session, continues through about April to May, about 125 days. Newton County. Newton County. Most of Newton County is in that. As we welcome this, our first candidate that is going to be up for state representative, businessman here in Meridian. I know that y'all have seen him. He's wearing his Hank Jr. hat. Come on up, Ben. Ben Shirley, who is running for House.
Thank you, Scotty Ray. I'm Ben Shirley. I'm running for Mississippi House District 81. Me and my wife are heavily vested here in our area. We got multiple businesses, invested in multiple other businesses. And I'm one to believe we should have somebody in elected position, especially in the state, but even locally, that have a vested interest in our community. Don't worry about your paycheck or your retirement or getting reelected. Let's do the things that we need to do and make the decisions we need to make, do the right thing. If you want someone to answer the phone, be responsive, get things done, promote our district in every way. Some people say, well, that's not the state representative's job. Well, if I'm elected, it's going to be part of my job because economic development is kind of pretty much what I think I'm pretty good at. So I'm going to insert that into my office if I'm elected. And so, I just ask everyone to go out and vote on August 8th, regardless who you vote for. Listen, my opponent's been in a long time. I think it's time for a change. I just noticed, here, I not name other elected officials, but my opponent spent a good bit of his money in Alabama buying his campaign stuff. So he didn't even pay Mississippi tax. Everything that I purchased was bought through Mississippi, and we paid Mississippi sales tax. I know that sounds minor, but it gets back to the vested interest. If you have a vested interest, we want to pay our tax in Mississippi, or at least in our district would be even better. So anybody got any questions, I feel free to answer them, not a problem. I'm pretty blunt and to the point. Anybody out there that that knows me, have known me for a long time, pretty much tell you that that's the way I am, and I don't want to come across too blunt to some people, but anyway, I would appreciate your vote August 8th in a Republican primary. Please go vote. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Ben. I do appreciate that. Folks, how many of you in the crowd have ever had to stand up in front of a group of folks and talk? It's a little bit tougher than you think. The worst situation I ever got into was at the Mississippi Choctaw Band of Indians. Me and Debbie used to be the spokespeople for the casino. And there was a rule, and one rule only. The chief spoke before anybody sang. It was my job to bring the chief on. Hank Williams Jr. was going to sing. 45 minutes later, I talked about all my dogs and everybody. He was running late and couldn't get there. That's the worst situation I've ever been in, with no script, no nothing, and I had to talk until the chief got there. It was rough. So this is harder than you think sometimes. Sometimes your mics are hot, aren't they, Odie? Say things you shouldn't. I had an accident a couple weeks ago with everybody here knows when I go out and I make a post and I haven't got my glasses. There's been a boo-boo or two when I went to put up something, the shooting that happened at the church. Anybody see that one? Front row. One of our officers was there, and I was getting out. Billy had talked to me, and I was typing as I walked. I meant to spell shooting. It said something else. It was rough. Debbie kept calling me as I was live going, fix it, and I didn't know what she was talking about. That will happen from time to time. Let me tell you about the next office that we've got up, Coroner. And if our current coroner was here, he'd tell you how many times a day I call him. It's kind of like law enforcement. I'm in constant connection. Anybody that's in law enforcement know I call them 4, 5, 6 times a day. That's probably my wife wanting to know why the garbage getting out. We'll turn that off. She can talk to me later. Let's talk about the office and what they actually do. The coroner is the chief medical examiner, investigator for the county, responsible for assuring readily available death investigators are available 24 hours a day, for the investigation of all deaths. That sounds better, doesn't it? Affecting the public interest. The coroner is also responsible for maintaining copies of all county medical exam death investigations for the previous 5 years. That's a heap of them, kind of like your taxes. And for coordinating and cooperating with state and medical examiners. A candidate for the office of coroner must, at a minimum, possess a high school diploma or equivalents, be 21 years of age, be qualified elector of the county in which he's elected, and resides in the county. I didn't know you had to be 21 on that. I guess most offices you do, don't you? Yeah. This one, we've got, 1 week left, and it has not yet gotten as bad as the presidential election. There's a little mudslinging going on out there. I see it on Facebook, but it ain't got bad just yet. Can y'all, seriously, can anybody imagine being Donald Trump? I have never, upon my life, seen a man take so much heat, be run down from everybody. And when that happens, usually you are the man to beat. Somebody's trying to get you. But Donald Trump, God bless him. Y'all say a prayer for that man. He's got it rough. Let's welcome our first candidate. We're going to go down the way to be on the ballot. Kenneth Graham, where are you, Kenneth? He's ready. He's got his tie. Nope, no tie. We got a suit, though. A jacket. That's what they call sports coat, isn't it? I'm going to get one of them one day. Kenneth, come on up.
Little warm. It's a little warm out here. Can everybody hear me? Well, you know, somebody said a while ago, just said, hey, you're going to burn up in that. And guess what, folks? The coroner job happens year round, 365 days a year, whether it's hot, cold, wet, snow, ice, you got to be available. I'm Kenneth Graham, and I want to be your coroner for Lauderdale County. I've served this country since 1992. I've served this city and this county since 1996 in law enforcement. I went full-time with the Guard in 2006. Before that, I was an investigator with the Sheriff's Department, and I worked in law enforcement from approximately 1996 to 2006 till I went full-time with the Guard. My role primarily during that time with the Sheriff's Department, initially, I was a road deputy. I took photos, I responded to crime scenes, I did all the photography. I worked with our current coroner, I worked with Mr. Marl Cobbler, and I have a lot of experience and a lot of training in death investigation. I can say honestly, I am the only candidate here that has actually investigated death. It's a different perspective. It's a different way of looking at it. When you're in law enforcement, you want to know why. When you're the coroner, you just want to know how. You only get one chance when it comes to death investigation, and it must be done right. I encourage you to look around, look me up, ask around about me, ask about my credentials. I've been to numerous classes on crime scenes, photography, and I'm also nationally certified as a medical legal death investigator. I appreciate your consideration. And don't forget, next Tuesday is very important for everybody to exercise their right and get out and vote. I thank you for your time, and I appreciate it.
Big thank you, Kenneth. Y'all hadn't seen a sign of his somewhere, have you? Lord, they everywhere. Somebody's been busy. If anything I have learned, it would be tough to be the sign man. Whew, that's a heap of them putting out. John, where is John tonight? John Hollingsworth, I'm looking for you. We could get Stella and Kevin. Y'all come on over here to the side. Now, last week, I got tricked into something. Odie calls me and he said, we got to be in Meridian. You had to show up at the Shriners. So I showed up at the Shriners. The next thing you know, we're chili. Anybody heard of a chili contest, a cooking contest in July? Odie found it. And let me tell you, you could have lit candles with your breath. It was so hot. But the winner, this is the interesting point that I was getting to. The winner of the chili cook-off was John. I'm telling you, that was some fine chili, wasn't it? Come on up. He's also running for coroner. Let's hear a few things.
Good evening. I appreciate y'all coming out tonight. My name's John Hollingsworth. I've served Lauderdale County for the past 23 years between Lauderdale County Fire Service, Metro Ambulance. I have I've done the job as far as going out, talking to families that have lost their loved ones, worked on, and it's a horrible feeling. I mean, you're at somebody on their worst day, and I just want to ask that y'all come out and support me on August the 8th, and hope I have y'all support. Thank you.
His chili is stout. Just want to remind everybody about that. Again, if you're just walking up, I'm Scotty Ray. So glad to have you a part of it. And I want to thank each and every one of y'all for watching us each day as we tell you things that go on in the community. John, is that you I see back there? John, how are you doing, my friend? He's staying quiet back there, dressed in black. Next, we got a beautiful lady. It's good to see ladies every once in a while start mingling up in here. I was just teasing her about her britches. She is burning up, y'all. It's hot wearing britches, if y'all hadn't noticed. Stella, come on up. She's going to tell you why you should vote for her.
Thank you, Scotty, for pointing that out. My name is Stella McMahon, and I'm running for Lauderdale County Coroner. I am a licensed funeral director and embalmer, or a mortician. You could call me a mortician. I was called to take care of people, and this is the way that I was called to do that. I've been doing this for 12 years, and anybody that knows me even a little bit knows that this is my passion. This is like getting in there and taking care of the families. I love my families. Dealing with the body is something that I have to deal with. Now, when we're talking about investigation experience, the nature of embalming is investigation. I mean, you have to look at the body. I mean, I know if a woman's had breast cancer. I know if a man has had a knee replacement. I can look at certain things and have a question about them, like, I don't know, bed sores, things like that. It's great detail to the body. I have to pay attention to certain things to see if they died a certain way, because that affects my chemicals and how they react with the body. So, I mean, it's not like the role of coroner is not a standalone investigation role. It's a part of a working a moving part to the investigation. Law enforcement investigates the scene. Coroner takes possession of the body. They work with the medical examiner. There are 4 certified Mississippi death investigators in the state that are liaisons between the coroners and the medical examiners. You can't just say, we're just going to autopsy this body. No, you have to have cause to do that. That's where your keen eye comes into play. You know, you got to be able to notice some things, and I have noticed those things. There were 1,234 deaths in Lauderdale County last year. 1,115 of those were coroner cases. Not all of those are going to be trauma. Some of them are going to be hospice, hospital. I mean, there's a lot of different ways, you know, that people die in our county. But the reason I ran is because what I do in the funeral home, the way I take care of families and the bodies simultaneously, I want to do for everybody in Lauderdale County. That's why I would leave the funeral home, and that would be my sole responsibility, would be taking care of the citizens of Lauderdale County as the Lauderdale County Coroner. 24/7, 365, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't matter. You have me, and I promise you, I will take care of y'all. Thank you. Vote on August the 8th.
There's one thing I've learned. Out of all the offices out there, you'll never catch me running for coroner. It just isn't made for me. Would anybody else want to do that? I think it takes somebody special to be that person. And Lord bless them. I'm just not that guy. Next up, you've seen this guy around a good bit here, wearing T-shirts, parade. You've been in just about every event, I think, that you outdoing me. Kevin Smith comes up. Come on up and tell us why we should vote for you. Get into that mic real hard so we hear you.
All right. Scotty said I got to get really close to the mic, so it'd be the first time somebody's ever told me I don't talk loud enough. But my name's Kevin Smith. I'm running for the coroner's office. As y'all can tell, we have a wide open crowd here that's seeking that position. I've been a paramedic in and around this area for the last 30 years. I've run up and down these streets and these highways, and if you name it, we've probably seen it. Not going to say we've seen everything, because as soon as you say that, you'll see something tomorrow you had never seen before. with that, we have done most everything that we need to do when we get out to the houses to take care of the patients, the scenes, or whatever. I feel like I'm the best qualified for it with the years that I've got in being a paramedic. I've hauled many of folks in and around these counties back and forth to hospitals, and then some of them, of course, wound up having to get the coroner to come on out and take care of them. Lifelong residents here in Lauderdale County. I live in Collinsville and have been wanting to do this for about 20 years, but Clayton had to retire first because could nobody beat him while he was in office. He's got a big pair of shoes that we've all got to fill. With that being said, August 8th, guys, this next week, get out and vote. You know, y'all have seen us all. I think we got Jonathan's left down here to go, but all the other candidates too. Do your research. Get out and vote. Vote for the one that you think will do the best. And I'd appreciate your consideration on August 8th for Kevin Smith for coroner. Thank y'all.
Everybody's doing a good job tonight. Up next, Jonathan, where are you at? Where are you hiding here? Look here. I want to say this before he comes up. I grew up in a little town called Scuba, Mississippi, 40 miles due north of here. His in-laws come from there. And I have to say, your mother-in-law was the belle. Where's she at? You were the belle of Scuba. This woman is just absolutely beautiful. I remember going to the barbecues, and she was just it on a stick. Am I making her head too big? Easy, back off. Well, you're stealing my thunder. That's what your speech is going to be about. Miss Betty Gale, I'm telling y'all, she was so sweet to me when I was growing up. My hat's off to you. One of my favorite there. Jonathan Wells, y'all have known him from being a supervisor for how many years now? 8 years. He moved right on up that ladder and became the president of that also. Currently serving in that, aren't you? Yeah. I'm going to turn this over to Jonathan and let him tell you why y'all need to vote for him.
Scotty, thank you. Hey, guys. Well, you know, there's a couple jokes that I wanted to tell, but my campaign manager, who is my mother-in-law's daughter, my wife, she's the beautiful lady right over there. Scotty Ray I thought he was going to steal my thunder about bragging on him. That's my daughter there as well. You know, to follow Tom Sykes' awesome prayer and to be up here with Scotty Ray, I just got to tell you, this has not been a campaign. It's been a camp pleasure. I got more. Okay, that was from Park and Rec. So, really, I want to thank the Republican Party for getting active again. It's good to see you out doing this, putting this on, so I'm proud to see that happening. You know, you've heard the other candidates. They've shared with you what coroner is, and I've done that in the past. So I want to take a different route. I want to tell you guys what I've been doing. You know, 16 years as a teacher, coach, I want to tell you what the 8 years of being a supervisor has been. And maybe it'll translate, maybe it won't, but let's see what happens here. Let me find my notes here. The Board of Supervisors, and I want to say this, I know Josh is out there, maybe a couple other of us Board of Supervisors. Hey, I just saw Bobby Faber. Bobby, you didn't think I would say it. Bobby Faber is my hero. He saved my life one time, and I'm not lying. Ain't that true? All right. Come see me, I'll tell you about it. All right, so I didn't do these things alone, but I want to tell you the things I've been a part of. A few years back, Board of Supervisors and myself went to the legislature and secured $3 million for the 2059 park. Before that, it was just a pasture growing up. Now it's site ready. Now, I don't want to chase rabbits, but some of you might be out there saying, well, there's nothing there yet. But I want to tell you, if it's not pad ready, there'll never be anything there. So the Board of Supervisors made that step. I want to talk about the promise made and kept about our courthouse complex down on 22nd Avenue. Not only are we building a new courthouse, which I don't know how many stacks of grand jury reports that we had, but it was stacks and stacks of them telling us we needed to do something. We did that. That was, I think we all campaigned and made that promise, and you can ride down and see it now. But not only is that promise being kept and that vision being made, but there's also property there that we're marketing. And right now, there's a couple parties, and I think you'll all be interested when they're announced. We're proud about that. I only got about 50 more things. I know you might not think supervisors do a lot, but I'm going to share them with you real quick. One economic success we had is BWI and Meridian. We worked with that company for them to come in. And local industry that's existing, we give tax breaks to those companies quite often. Now, you might wonder why we give local industry that's already here tax breaks. It's because we want to keep them here and we don't want them to go away or even fail. Sometimes those tax breaks on their new equipment means they're bringing new jobs or extra jobs. Sometimes it's just protecting that job. And so we do that quite often. If you got questions about these things when we're over, please come. I'd love to explain why we do these things. We've helped secure the 186 and NAS Meridian. Let me tell you how we've done that. As of late with the 186, we've given thousands of dollars just to go towards the future of their mission, for their basically going after the future of the mission, new planes and things like that. At NAS, we've helped navigate and get grant money for a fence that goes all the way around the runways out there. That not only protects the equipment, but the most important thing, the lives of the pilots that are out there. We've also put $2 million of funding into Jimmy Rogers Parkway, which is a matching grant. There'll end up being $4 million put into the parkway out there for economic development, and I think you'll be hearing about that soon as well. I also want to talk about Southern Pipe. I think maybe a year back, you might have saw a big announcement about how they stayed in Meridian and moved from Sonny Montgomery out to 2059. You know, without a doubt, the Davidsons wanted to stay. I'm not saying that they wouldn't have, but the Board of Supervisors ensured that and helped them find incentives to stay. So we're proud about that. A little bit of infrastructure. We've been delegates on the we've worked with our delegates and been delegates to the state going after the $3.4 million. You're going to see North Hill Street paved hopefully really soon. We paved hundreds and hundreds of miles, and I'll tell you, if you don't live in District 1, my name is still on that road paved in your district because it takes 3 of us. And quite frankly, I don't know a supervisor that's ever, during my term, voted against a road being paved. So we all have our names on your roads being paved. 493, after the coal mine shut down, it was a mess. We lobbied Dick Hall, and just a few weeks later, that got paved. We've built a new 4-H, a sheriff's department, an animal control building, several new buildings at our barns to protect your investments in our equipment and give our workers a better place to work. And as you go around the city and you're seeing MDOT work, we've been in meetings and delegates and asking for that work. And I'll tell you, I just want to do a shout out to Willie Simmons. He's been really good to us. We've worked with schools on in-kind service, helping them get their drainage right, their parking lots right. We've even helped them get ready to install solar panels. Worked with state and federal delegates, negotiated contracts with our vendors, made great hires with leadership in our county, and we also set and run a $60 million budget. So, why did I tell you all that? I feel like I've done you a good job. I've ran the office of District 1 really well. I promise you I'll do that as coroner. All these guys that's spoken are qualified. Matter of fact, Stella, when they were screaming your name a while ago, I'm a big Seinfeld fan. I wanted to scream Stella myself. So, Stella, all these folks are qualified. I think we all bring different talents to the job. I don't think you'll go wrong. I'm just asking you to consider me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. What do y'all, I had a thought while I was standing there with Odie. Everybody gets tired of their taxes going up, don't they? You like your house where they come out and praise it. How about next year we have one of them booths where we get to throw things at the one that raises your house taxes? Who holds that office in Meridian? I think it'd be a line and raise money for everybody. Just can't help it. You know, I was standing there, and I've been around this area for, oh Lord, I think in 1986, I strolled into a radio station and told them I wanted to talk on the radio. And they told me I was very awful. I would never talk on the radio. And how God has his hands on things, it ends up that it worked out for me in the end. But I can remember, y'all know Van Mack? Van said, "You just awful. Go back to scuba, don't come back." It's just funny how things turn out, and I do this for a living now. But often, people ask you for advice of things to do. This was told to me some few years ago, and I scribbled down my notes of remembering when you're fixing to do something wrong. Anybody ever been in that situation? You're thinking about something? And the first on the list is, if you're fixing to do something wrong, do you have to ask others' opinions? When you're getting ready to make a decision, you walk around and ask other people what they would do. And I remember as a kid, I was getting ready for a date, and I bumped into, my sister was in the next room. I said, "Does my shirt look clean? Is it okay?" And she said, "Scotty Ray, if you got to ask me, you need to go change that." That's a good sign there. If you got to ask others, it's wrong to begin with. The second thing, when you're fixing to do something wrong, I don't know how many of you have been driving down the road and talked to yourself. Ask yourself questions and end up arguing with yourself about why you're going to do it. And you almost talk yourself into it. If you have to talk yourself into something, you're fixing to do something wrong. That's one of the key things. The next thing, when you're fixing to do something wrong, how do you agree with this? When you get ready to do it, do you feel funny that others would be looking at you while you're doing it? Is it right? Would you want everybody to see you doing it? If not, you're fixing to do something wrong. And the number 4 thing is, when you get into that list of you're fixing to do something wrong, and this is just really it. While you're doing it, could you praise God? Could you say, thank you, God, for letting me do this? Woo! I bet there's a lot of things you go, no, I don't think I want to do that. Keep your head down. But that's a little list to keep you on the straight and narrow of when you're making decisions. And the key thing that I just said there, in all decisions, and I hope y'all do that, keep a little God in everything that you do. Ask the man upstairs before you do it, because it is important. Betty Gale, don't you agree? She over there talking. She ain't even paying me attention. Betty Gale, I just want to say hey to you again. Next up is a very, very important office. We've got 2 men that are running for this office. Ward Calhoun, Ricky Roberts are running for sheriff of Lauderdale County. A very, very serious job. Matter of fact, it's a top position there is when it comes to law. As I had mentioned, I bother coroners. I also bothered Ward this morning. I waited to 5:15 to call him. It said, hey, what about them gunshots last night? But let me tell you about the sheriff and a few notes that we have here, what happens. He has both administrative and law enforcement duties. It just doesn't mean he goes out and arrests people. He's got to go back, sit down at a desk, and fill out all this paperwork. And let me tell you, it's enough to put you up against the wall when it comes to paperwork. If you've ever dealt with the government, you've got to have all of this. He is the sheriff, is the chief law enforcement officer of the county, and runs the administrative functions of Lauderdale County Jail, the county sheriff's department. And it's a big job here. The sheriff serves as the chief jailer of the county. He's responsible in charge of the courthouse and to keep peace within the county, no matter where it is, whether it's in the city or if it's in the county. Also, the sheriff's department is currently, y'all get this, 120 folks work there. That's a lot. That's a heap of them. $10 million is the budget. I hope everybody gets ice cream on Fridays. Includes the juvenile jail, drug task force, and law enforcement funding, all of that. Let's welcome our first, Ward Calhoun. Where are you hiding? Come on up and tell us why we should vote Ward Calhoun for sheriff.
Great afternoon. It's not 113, it's only like 101. So that's good. A little breeze every now and then. I'm loving it. I am so excited to be out here with you this evening. I think this is a great event. I'm really excited and thankful that the Lauderdale County Republican Party decided to do this. We are 1 week away. There are a lot of people who still don't know who they're going to vote for in a lot of different races. I have 3 minutes allegedly. Those of you that know me know 3 minutes is hard for me, but I'm going to do my best. As I thought about what I was going to say to you tonight, it became just overwhelming to me that as I look to my left, if you'll look to your right, there are 2 buildings standing right there. The Riley Center, the Grand Opera House, behind you the courthouse. My great-great-grandfather built those buildings back in the 1890s in 1905 for our courthouse. My family goes back in this community for years. We have been about building, both literally and figuratively, community all of these years here. And I want to continue that family tradition. And Scotty Ray, don't start singing anything, because that's a different family tradition. The tradition of taking care of our community. Some things about me that I think are important and that cause me to be the candidate that I think you should vote for next Tuesday. I am the only candidate that has managed and dealt with a $10.6 million tax-funded budget. That's your tax dollars. If you talk to some of these folks out here working at the Sheriff's Department, they'll tell you how tight I am with your money, because it's your money, not my money. Matter of fact, my sister-in-law didn't talk to me for 2 months one time over a cell phone change. That's another story. I'm the only candidate that's had experience operating and maintaining a jail. That jail is something nobody wants to talk about down there, but it's very important to our community. And it's also your single biggest liability in this county as a taxpayer. I'm the only candidate that's an FBI National Academy graduate. Less than 1% of law enforcement officers get invited to that. And I was able to go to that back in the fall of 2001 and graduated from there in what is a leadership academy to help local law enforcement. I gained great insight and a lot of great contacts through that experience. I'm the only candidate that's been endorsed by our current district attorney. I'm the only candidate that's been endorsed by our current sheriff, Billy Solly. I've held multiple senior management leadership positions within the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department, serving you over the last 27 years. I today oversee and manage 120 personnel from our jail to our deputies. That is an important task. We have high expectations. That is driven by something called accreditation. Those standards will remain if I am elected as your sheriff. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to look at it. I know those standards make us good, make us the best, and I will make sure that your sheriff's department continues to be accredited. My community involvement, many of you I have served on boards with, the Care Lodge, Boys and Girls Club, Crime Stoppers. I've been involved in so many different things within our community, coaching Little League T-ball. My brother's much better at coaching than I am. I'm a better cheerleader. I'm running out of time. I would ask you that if you have any questions in particular, after we're through, I'll be over here for a little while. We have signs, we have literature, anything like that. If you're a Facebooker, go to Facebook. You can go to Ward Calhoun for Sheriff, look at our page. We have videos. I've got a series going, 10 different questions. We were unable to put together a forum or a debate where we could answer questions at the same time. So I've taken the questions I was hearing from you, the voters, and put those out there with my answers. They're on there for you to see. I also have our website, calhounforsheriff.com. Thank you for letting me come tonight and do this. There are so many supporters. So many people have reached out to me and been so helpful, and I am truly humbled by that. And I'm asking you tonight to take what I bring and you go and vote next Tuesday, August the 8th, in the Republican primary. Put an oval, color it in on that box next to my name, and let me take what I've been doing all these years and continue to serve you as your sheriff for the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Ward. Coming up next is another guy that is running for sheriff of Lauderdale County. I've known him a long time also. We welcome to the mic, come on up, Mr. Ricky Roberts. You're supposed to say judge, aren't I?
Thank you, Scotty Ray. I want to thank everyone for coming out today. It's been a hot, scorching day. You can just feel that humidity in the air. And you know what else we feel? We feel a need for change. You know, our city, we all live here, we all work here. And I have been out on the campaign trail for a long time, for many months now. I've been in living rooms, I've been in businesses, I've been in churches, I've been in civic groups, and they all have one thing in common. Whether Republican or Democrat, whether white or black, Hispanic or Oriental, they all have one thing in common. Their concern is their town, their safety, and for their families to be raised here. I don't have to tell anyone. Everybody knows how bad crime is here in Lauderdale County. And you know, you hear our opponents talk about what all they've done in the past. The past is past. We gotta worry about what's now. What is going on right now, and what are we gonna do about it? No one feels safe to go out with their families. Everybody's scared to sit outside with their kids because of gunshots, because of robberies. And we've got to do something. We can do better than what we're doing. What I plan on doing, I plan on giving you a sheriff department with well-trained, hard-working, professional officers. We've got to be proactive. We've got to be aggressive. You can't be scared to do this job. We've got to get out there and we've got to get a hold of this crime. If we don't, we're all going to lose. You know, we're already losing people every day We can't keep losing our citizens here in Lauderdale County. You know, I was telling them the other day, you know, I've got 3 grandchildren. And, you know, I have served the public here in Lauderdale County since 1987. I was a certified officer. You know, you hear them talk about the only certified officer. I've been a certified officer since 1987. And then I was a certified constable for 2 terms. I was also, you elected me 4 terms as a certified judge. So I've served this community, and I've served it well. And so I think everyone knows my record. They know what I stand for. We've got to do better. We've got to do better for our people here. We've got to do better for our families. And I'm gonna give you a department that's gonna work hard. We're gonna be humble, but we're gonna get after the bad guys. We're gonna do that. If you're a bad guy and you're a criminal, you better go somewhere else if I'm elected your next sheriff. Because I'm gonna tell you, I care for my family, just like you care for your family. And I care for your families too. I was born and raised here. I have a family that's, my brothers, my whole family's here. We've been here all our life. I love Meridian. I always tell this story. I got a daughter that's a nurse practitioner. She can make a lot more money leaving Meridian. But you know what she told me? She said, Dad, I was born and raised here. I love Meridian like you do, and I want to work and take care of people here. And that's what it's all about. We have a wonderful town, a great town. We've all been here together. We've all worked together. We've had hard times. But this is not right. This is just unacceptable. And it's not going to, a sheriff department or a department, whether it's Meridian Police Department, whether it's the sheriff department, we can't do it by ourselves. We have to have public support. And how do you do that? In order to get respect, you got to give it. And that's why I said a law enforcement officer should be professional and they should be courteous to the public in which they serve. And if you work for me, that's what's going to happen. You all deserve to be treated with respect. And I ask you humbly on August the 8th, when you vote, please vote. That's so important. But when you go vote, please vote Ricky Roberts. Thank you.
Ricky Roberts, big thank you to our 2 sheriff's candidates for coming up and speaking with us. Up next is supervisors. That's a pretty big deal. Up next is what we've got here. District 1 serves the north central Lauderdale County, including Briarwood, parts of North Meridian, and areas of Ponte Hills, Lizzie, and Windsor Road. Also, county supervisor make appointments to important boards like MCC, the Board of Trustees, and Lauderdale County Tourism Commission. County supervisors approve tax increases or decreases. Uh-oh, Odie, we done found some folks here. School and property taxes, we have cornered them. Currently, the supervisors oversee approximately $120 million budget, with approximately $60 million of that being directed to Lauderdale County School District. Let's get that a little closer there. County supervisors oversee more than 300 current employees and are responsible for infrastructure and maintenance like roads and bridges. All right, our first candidate up is going to be J.J. Anders. J.J., come on up.
How's everybody tonight? Thank y'all for coming out. I am J.J. Anders, Justin Anders, born and raised here. And I just want to thank you guys for having us. Lauderdale County Board of Supervisors is the business board of Lauderdale County. I was raised in a business, Anders Furniture, but then my granddad and my father ran and my uncle. That's what I know. I'm not a coroner. I'm not a sheriff. I'm a business guy. I'm not a politician. I'm a family man and a businessman. I've had 2 businesses in District 1. One was a UPS store that I recently sold. It was a great business decision. And then I still have my rental business there. In business, you've got to manage numbers. You've got to know what you've got to do in the short term, the long term, and the intermediate term. That's what I know. I'm not a handyman. I'm a businessman. I know numbers. I know how to read projections. I know how to see what we have and get the most out of a dollar. So I just want to invite everybody to come out and vote on August 8th. There's been too many people that have fought and died for that. And so please exercise that right, and please vote for Justin Anders. Thank you.
Up next, we'd like to invite Chris Bullock. Chris, come on up. You've seen him somewhere with a yard sign, I'm sure.
Good evening, everybody, and thank y'all for being here. Thank you for making the effort to come out tonight. I want to give a shout out to the Republican Party of Lauderdale County for putting on such a great event. Look, this is important. It's important to hear from the candidates in person, and it's always important to hear from you, the voters. So thank y'all for making the effort to come out tonight. Look, one of the reasons I'm running is I absolutely love this community, and I believe it's worth fighting for. I was born, raised, baptized, and married right here in Lauderdale County. I'm a proud graduate of Meridian High School and Meridian Community College. I attended MSU Meridian, and I earned a degree in public policy and administration from Mississippi State University in Starkville. I found my passion for serving people almost 20 years ago. And now I feel the Lord is calling me to serve this community in a bigger capacity. I have a record of serving this community, and I have a record of working in the service industry since I was 15 years old. My community service began as a cadet with the Meridian Police Department. I went on to help create the Ranger program at the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. Then I joined the local Republican Party, and I'm proud to say that I'm the former chairman of the Lauderdale County Republican Executive Committee. Currently, I'm serving in several leadership roles in local organizations. I'm invested in this community. In the private sector, I started working at my family's business, Cater's Market, in 2006, where customer service is our top priority. I'm now managing partner. I manage people, and I know the importance of watching the bottom line. I believe in conservative, common sense decision making. I want Lauderdale County to be the best place in Mississippi to live, work, and raise your family. But that starts with making sure families feel safe. As supervisor, I'll stand with our brave law enforcement officers and promote law and order. I'll approve funding for necessary personnel, training, and equipment to ensure a professional service and a safer community. If elected, I will lead with heart, and I will never forget who I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for each one of you. I believe I am the most qualified candidate running for this office. I'm here today to humbly ask for your prayers, and on Tuesday, August 8th, I ask that you cast your vote for Chris Bullock for Lauderdale County District 1 Supervisor. Thank y'all.
Our third man running for this office. Come on up, David Snowden. I'm going to introduce him as Amanda's husband. I see his wife a lot.
I will gladly take that. I outpunted my coverage big time, big time. Y'all, first of all, thank you, Scotty Ray. Thank y'all, Odie, for doing this. I appreciate it. Thank everybody out there for coming and listening to what we got to say. First of all, I'm going to start it off, y'all. I'm not a typical politician. I'm not going to stand up here and sound like a politician because that's not who I am. But I'm a sixth-generation Snowden to live in Lauderdale County. I'm not going anywhere. This is home. I'm married to Amanda Snowden. I've got 2 boys I'm raising here in Lauderdale County. I'm a business owner. Me and my wife created 2 businesses in the county. We built them from the ground up, from scratch. We didn't have anything to start with. We stayed at home. We sacrificed. So I know what it's like to create a budget and stay in that budget to find success and to hit your goal. I've been there. For 20 years, I've been a timber buyer in Lauderdale County, buying and selling timber in the county. I've used every single road and bridge in the county. So I know our infrastructure better than anyone else. I can use that the very first day if elected as supervisor. I can get up there and I can prioritize the roads and bridges in District 1 that need the most attention because I use them every single day. Also, if somebody calls with a problem in our county, I know the road, I know the bridge, more than likely I know the landowner. I don't have to put a work order out. I can immediately go to work for everybody. Also, I'm in the real estate. Me and my wife have a real estate company, Snowden Company Real Estate. In real estate, I sell Meridian and Lauderdale County every single day. It's what I do. I hear why people want to come here. I hear what they're looking for. But on the flip side of that, I hear why they want to leave. I hear what we cannot offer them, and that's what I want to change. In real estate, I've learned key negotiating skills. That will be critical in dealing with the other supervisors when trying to get a piece of that pie out of our budget for District 1. I feel like I can negotiate with the other supervisors. Also, bringing businesses in, whether it's big businesses or small mom and pop businesses, my negotiating skills can help do that. Y'all, I live in the county. I work in the county. I grew up in the county. We have businesses here in the city. I need the city to succeed. I need the county to succeed. It helps everybody in that aspect. Like I said, I'm from the county, I'm from the city. I believe I'll be the best candidate to have the county's concerns and the city's concerns all wrapped up into one. And I'll look out for both sides. Y'all, again, I'm Devin Snowden. I'm not a politician, I'm just Devin. I hope on August 8th y'all come out, look at all three candidates, research every one of us, try to figure out who you think would be the best to do the job, and I hope you vote for me on August 8th, Devin Snowden. And y'all, I really appreciate your time. Thank y'all.
Supervisor District 2, if we could have Eric Johnson come up. We also want to have Clifford and Josh, if y'all make your way over here to get ready for y'all's. Again, District 2, we welcome Eric.
Thank everybody for coming out today. First of all, I want to thank Scotty Ray and Odie for what they do each and every day, informing the community, the county and the city, everything that's going on. Can't appreciate you guys enough. Want to thank, wish all the candidates out here good luck next week. We're in a final stretch. And again, I'm running for Supervisor District 2. I think it's time that we push for a change. I feel like District 2 is kind of lost its speed. You know, it's kind of going backwards from the things that I think we should do. I'm seeing being in education, I'm seeing we're losing a lot of our young graduates, college graduates. They're moving off. They're going off, getting jobs elsewhere to support their families. And that's a big concern to me because I have a little 7-year-old boy that I don't want to be faced with that one day. One thing that I think as a supervisor, you got to have energy, you got to have commitment, you got to be accessible, and you got to be visible. When I ride out in District 2, look at some of our roads, our ditches, I think we can do better. I'm not going to be up here speaking long. One thing that I do believe in is that on August 8th, that's our right, that's our democracy, that we get out and vote. And as I've told everyone, I'm only going to speak for a minute. I've got a bigger commitment. My little boy's birthday is today. Turned 7 years old, so I got to get home and do the birthday cake and ice cream. But on August 8th, please get out and vote, and humbly that we ask that you give us a chance in District 2 as we feel like we need a change, a positive change, the things that's important to us, the things that's important to our kids, next generation. That's why we're here. That's why we're running. One of my things is I think we need to try to allocate more money to the Sheriff's Department to be able to get more training, better equipment, more officers out on the streets to protect us. Then we talk about the infrastructure. I think there's a lot of things that we're doing great, but I think we can do better. And the last thing is when we talk about economic development is something that I feel like we've got to push harder for. We've got to do better. We've got to be that voice at the table to say, hey, why are we missing out on these industries? Why are they not coming to Lauderdale County? Those things are all important to me. And on August 8th, I think we can have that change that we need to be able to move Lauderdale County forward. Thank each and every one of you. May God bless.
As we move to District 3, we're going to invite Clifford Holloway up. And I want to say, your granddaddy was my high school principal as it goes back. I think most folks remember Jack Holloway at Northeast High School. That was his granddaddy. Come on up and tell us why you need to be supervisor.
All right, thank you, Scotty Ray. Look, those of you that don't know me, my name's Clifford Holloway. I'm a homegrown guy. I was born and raised right here in Lauderdale County. I raised my family here. I went to West Lauderdale High School, then on to Meridian Community College and Mississippi State University, where I got a bachelor's degree in criminology. I'm married to my best friend, Erica, over here on the side. We have 3 beautiful children, Macy, Harrison, and Jackson. I knew from a young age that I wanted to devote my life to public service and helping the members of my community. So while I was still a teenager, I joined the Meridian Police Department cadet program. And as a cadet, you help officers in various parts of their job, including riding with them on patrol, working the front desk, working special functions with them. So I did that, and I was able to rise up through the ranks and made chief cadet. But since 2011, I've worked with the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department as a deputy sheriff. While at the Sheriff's Department, I was able to work in various roles, including the courthouse, on patrol, K-9 handler, I was a shift supervisor, and currently I serve as a criminal investigator. While employed at the Sheriff's Department, I made it my goal daily to do what I could to help out my community. But the reason I'm running for supervisor is I want to see Lauderdale County be the best county in the state. I want to see Lauderdale County grow in every way. I promise if you elect me August 8th that I will be accessible to each and every resident of District 3. I will make being supervisor my primary job so that I can devote the time necessary and be there when you need me, only a phone call away. Being a supervisor is a full-time job, not just a part-time job. That way we can ensure that Lauderdale County constantly moves forward. I want to work to improve our infrastructure. I know each one of you has been inconvenienced by a bridge out or a road that has been poorly maintained. I know that's not a quick fix, nor a real easy fix, but it's something that we have to work at better prioritizing to make sure that we repair the roads and bridges that we most need, that are going to benefit the most. So I ask you humbly again, please go to the polls August 8th, vote Clifford Holloway for District 3 Supervisor. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Clifford. Up next, where are you hiding at, Josh? Oh, there he is over here. He's coming. I think a lot of us know this guy. He's been around quite a while. Josh Todd.
Hey, we need to move that up. Or can I?
You want me to hold this up for you?
Yeah, and I may have to sit on the stump there. There we go.
We can unscrew that. How
And
about
this
that?
isn't going against my time, is it?
Yeah, how about
Okay.
that?
There we go. All right. Well,
You got to tighten her back.
there we
You
go.
shouldn't be so tall.
Well, the Lord only made so many men, you know. Okay. All right. First of all, thank the Republican Party for holding this event. Scotty Ray, Odie, of course, they're all our local radio personalities. But first, I want to thank you. 12 years ago, I decided to run for supervisor. I had spent 12 years in the road department, started out on the bottom. I made $5.75 an hour. My job for those years was picking up dead animals and patching potholes. That's what I did. I know District 3. Another reason why I know District 3. I rode a bush hog at 4 miles an hour for 6 years. Do you know how much stuff you can pay attention to if you're going 4 miles an hour on a bush hog? You get to know the land, the lay of the land, the culverts, and the ditches very well. So whenever you do call me, and I also was the main equipment operator. I was the youngest assistant road foreman to ever be in Lauderdale County. And then I was the youngest road foreman to ever be in Lauderdale County. So what all that gets you is whenever you call me with an issue, there's a 99% chance I know where you live. I'm not stalking you, but I know what you drive. I know what bushes are in your yard. And I pretty much know your mailbox number because I have done it. I have been there. This is not something new for me. and it's given me a lot of insight because I was on that side of the road department. I was used to spending money. That's easy to do. But whenever I was elected, I almost started to leave because I was like, wow, I was used to spending all this money. Now I got to come up with it to supply the money for the guys. In my 12 years as supervisor, Jonathan actually took a lot of the stuff I was going to say. Ryan Brown back there, he said, if he didn't write in cursive, you could just take his notes up there and just read what he said. But Ryan Brown said I couldn't read cursive, so I had to come up with my own stuff. But in 12 years, we did listen. I did listen. We have paved roads. We haven't paved every road in Lauderdale County. You can't. You cannot pave every road in Lauderdale County. You think your taxes are high now? You let us borrow you enough money just to pave a quarter of our roads, and you're in the $70 million range. That is a lot of money. So what this board does, we do the best we can do with what we have. And that's what we do. We do replace bridges. And in the meantime of doing all that, we listen to the public. We listen, and we actually are building and almost completed on schedule and under budget. Again, on schedule and under budget. That is a big feat for a $50 million building. We had the right people in place at the right time. So now we're going to have something that we're all proud of. I know you don't know what it looks like right now, but I promise you, whenever you have to visit that complex, you get out of your car. If you're on a cane, a walker, a wheelchair, whatever, you're going to have a direct line of sight from your door into that building. No steps, no bumps, no nothing. You get to walk level ground straight into where you need to do business with Lauderdale County. There'll be wayfinding signs everywhere. It is going to be something that we are all proud of. The Sheriff's Department, they needed a new building. They needed to get out of our annex building. There were guys in literally closets. Your investigators were in closets. We heard that. So we, instead of tearing down the building adjacent to it, which I think was the old Winn-Dixie building, some people said, we made that into our safety building, our public safety building. We've done a lot. There's a lot more to go. The Youth Association, West Lauderdale Youth Association, they were in dire need of baseball and softball fields. All of our kids that were playing in District 3, the Collinsville, Suckalina, Center Hill, the Martin areas, they were leaving. They were going to town to play. I wanted to get them back out where they belong in our communities and playing together. If you haven't been by Gibson Road to see that facility, please go do that, because that's something you did. I facilitated it, I helped, but you did that. Your tax dollars went to build that for our kids. I was also told that that was a mistake. I will make a mistake every day of the week when it comes to our kids. When it comes to the future of Lauderdale County, I will vote to make a mistake for our future every day. With that being said, I do want to thank you. You've allowed me to serve you for 12 years. I have 24 years in Lauderdale County. There's not a whole lot of stuff that is going on or will go on that I do not know. I've been the president of the Mississippi Association of Supervisors, and I now serve on the national board of elected officials for the state of Mississippi. I've had a lot of accomplishments, but I'm not done. I really, really want to stay. I have a lot more to do. I have a servant heart, but to me that means a strong back and a weak mind. I'm easily led. My wife easily tells me what to do, and I do it. That's why we've been happily married for 22 years. Blissful years, baby, blissful years. But thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you for allowing me last time to go unopposed. That is the ultimate gift that any elected official can get. That is the ultimate gratifying feeling that you can ever get. All right, my wife's telling me to cut it off. Thank y'all, and on August the 8th, remember, don't be odd and vote for Josh Todd. Thank you.
Odie, checkmate. Did he just call me old because I knew that was the Winn-Dixie building? I think that's what Josh done. That was a Winn-Dixie building. You acting like you didn't know what it was. I'm so old. Somebody told me my grandma won a Cadillac from there one time in a drawing. That a long time ago. Up next is a mighty powerful office as we welcome Justice Court Judge 1. If you're running for that office, y'all come on over here to my right. Let me tell you a little bit about what they do. Odie, I didn't read all this beforehand. I should have went into this. Oh, it's long. Claims of civil cases involving $3,500 or less. Misdemeanors, criminal cases, any traffic offense that occurs outside landlord-tenant hearings, misdemeanors. Man, this list, Highway Patrol, Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. The list goes on and on of what they deal. It's a lot. It's a very important job is what it all boils down to. Statewide, there's 197 judges. We're going to pick one from here. We welcome our first to step to the stage. Merritt Berry, where are you? Come on up. Let's hear what you got to say today.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good evening, Meridian. Thank you all for being here. I want to tell y'all a little bit about myself. I've lived in Meridian all my life. I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. I've been in law enforcement for almost 11 years. I started out as a deputy, and then I went into the Mississippi Attorney General's office, where I worked Vulnerable Adult Division, Public Integrity Division, Human Trafficking Division, and now I do Alcohol and Tobacco Division. My parents are both from here. All my family's from here, Rick and Sherry Berry. We need good leadership in this spot, and I think I've got the most experience. It's a really good spot. Ricky Roberts asked me one day when I went to his office to ask him about running. He said, I don't know why you want to do this. I said, it's time for some change in Lauderdale County. We need good leadership in this spot. So that's why I stepped to the plate. But I humbly ask you for y'all's vote on August the 8th. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Merritt. If you'd like to volunteer to help out, check under the tent over here and go sign up for the Republican Party. They always do need volunteers. There's a lot goes on to putting on events like this and more. If you'd like to help, sign up. They could use a hand or two. Up next, Charles Graham. Woo, where's he hiding at? May not be here. We'll come back to him if he's here, so we're going to move on. And the prettiest of this bunch, Michelle, come on up here. She's got a great walk, by the way. Come on up, Michelle. Justice for Jordan. Come on. Do I need to bring that down a little bit? Just a wee bit. How's that feel?
Great.
Okay. Step up on you, of course.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm Michelle Griffith-Joyner, and I'm asking for your vote for Justice Court Judge for District 1. I'm 54 years old. I was born and raised here. I'm raising my wonderful son here. My parents are retired here. My parents are JB and Teresa Griffith, and for almost 40 years, they owned a business here called JB's Radio Communications. Rather than going into the family business, I took a different route, and I've been a civil servant for almost 24 years. I have a bachelor's degree in criminology from Mississippi State, and I've been working in a criminal court since 1999. I could actually retire next year, but I would rather take my knowledge and experience and put it to good use for the people of Lauderdale County as your next Justice Court Judge. My goals are to reduce recidivism and hold offenders accountable on the misdemeanor level in the hopes that they don't make it to the felony level. What sets me apart from the other candidates, besides the obvious, is that I bring a different skill set. My experience in a courtroom doesn't come from being a law enforcement officer testifying to tickets I wrote, or from being a business owner filing civil action against someone who didn't pay something. My experience in a court comes from being an actual part of the court process. This is what I do every day. My job begins and ends in a courtroom. What I've learned in my almost 24 years of experience in a courtroom is that times have changed and crimes have changed, and the way we deal with offenders to be able to hold them accountable has changed based on ever-changing laws. This is my personal copy of the Mississippi Rules of Criminal Procedure that came out in 2017, and you can tell by all the sticky notes and highlights, I've spent a lot of time in this. We need a Justice Court Judge who already has a good working knowledge of the court process and who already has a good working knowledge of the law. This is no time for intensive on-the-job training, and I'm ready to get to work. My entire campaign has been about researching all of the candidates for all of the positions and voting based on qualifications. I know it's easy to want to support somebody because you know their family, or maybe they wrote a big check to your kid's sports team, or maybe it's just because the name's been in your face for months because there are thousands of signs everywhere. But please keep in mind that that doesn't qualify anyone to make potentially life-changing decisions in a judicial capacity. So please understand that while other people have the luxury of getting out and knocking on doors and putting out signs every single day, I'm at work every day in a courtroom where I've been for almost 24 years now. So please understand that primary usually has a traditionally low turnout, but this primary is so important because many of these races are essentially going to be decided in the primary. So please get out and vote. Please vote for qualifications. Please vote Michelle Griffith Joyner for Justice Court Judge, District 1. Thank you.
All right, we got another one to step up. Nick Lisi, do y'all have the urge every time you talk to him to yell 6 inch or a foot long every time you see him? I do. I can't help it. Let's welcome Nick Lisi.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Tuesday. I'm glad, first and foremost, that you guys came out and had such a good group of folks to come out and listen to us talk. I also want to address the Scotty Ray audience directly. I'm glad that we've got this coverage of the Scotty Ray show because I know he's got one heck of a following and allows us to get our message out there. Again, my name's Nick Lisi. I'm running for Justice Court Judge of District 1 on the Republican ticket. I love Meridian. I'm invested in Meridian. I want to start off really about talking about my family because I'm a family man, and without my family, this campaign would not have been possible. It has been a true family affair. My mother, every night, she stays up mapping out the roads, who we visited, who we haven't visited, who we need to visit tomorrow. My dad, he gets out every day for the last 6 days a week. Since January 28th, we get out and knock on doors because I think it's important to you guys and to us that we meet you, look you in the eyes, tell you what we stand for. And my wife, dear God bless her soul, she's had to do commercials. She's had to do push cards and everything under the sun to make us look good. But again, I'm invested in Lauderdale County. I want the best for Lauderdale County. I have businesses in here, and I think we can all look at the crime we have in the city of Meridian, and it's starting to bleed over into our county. That store right there, Robin's Nest, that used to be a Subway sandwich shop. We had to close it down due to vagrants and crime. We had to shut it down. We had a Subway on Highway 39 right next to Bonita Auto Sales and the liquor store. We had to shut it down due to crime. It was one of the highest volume Subways in the state of Mississippi, and I never thought in a million years that we would have to shut down a business that was profitable due to crime, just the safety concerns of of the citizens and the people coming through. And I'm sick and tired of it. And if I'm elected, I promise you, I'll do everything we can do to rectify that situation, do what we can to make us to be tough on crime, because that's really what it's going to be boiled down to. I have the experience, I have the knowledge, and most importantly, I have the motivation to stop this problem in Meridian. And again, on August 8th, vote Republican, vote Nick Lisi. Thank you, guys.
I ain't one to start rumors, but I think I'm going to have to go ahead and tell this. If y'all happen to see a lady get pulled by a dog just a minute ago down the street, it was Odie's wife. There was a cat. He took her with her. The cat's still in the tree. That was funny. That's what me and Odie were giggling about over to the side there. Kind of happened as we were doing that. Next, we want to welcome David Rosenbaum Jr. up here. Come on up. Let's hear what you've got to say, my friend.
Hello, thank you all for sticking around. For those of us that are last but certainly not least, first of all, I want to thank God for giving me the opportunity to live in such a great country where we can have rights and freedoms and the opportunity to take place and take part in these awesome events like tonight. My name is David Rosenbaum, and I was born and raised here in Meridian in District 1. My wife, Robin, and I have been married for 26 years. She'll tell you it's been a lifetime. She's always been my rock. She's been by my side in everything that I've ever wanted to do. So I want to thank you for that, Robin. We have raised 2 boys in this community. Both are moved on from school, working in Lauderdale County, and making their own living. But this campaign is just as much theirs as it is mine. Sometimes I feel like they want it not to be because it's been so much work, but it's been welcome work. My sons have always been eager to step up and help me put out signs or knock on doors and do the things that we need to do to run a successful campaign. So thank both of y'all. I began my career back in 1993. That was a long time ago. And that was back during a time when people had mutual respect for other people. And they had a respect for law enforcement. And as we all know, times have truly changed since then. We are reminded daily that the crime rate, and it is higher than it has ever been in Meridian and Lauderdale County. So now more than ever, we need someone on this bench that knows the law, first and foremost, has the experience and the knowledge of what it takes on the street to enforce that law. And thirdly, be able to get the ground running on day one when you step into this office by knowing what to do. The last 5 years of my career, I have been federally employed. What I have done is I have assisted in training officers all over the state of Mississippi. I am also one of 15 master instructors in the state of Mississippi that actually train justice court judges. Yes, you heard me correct. I am training people to do the job that I am seeking election for. So I hope that that makes me qualified. In the past, these elections have had the tendency to become popularity contests. Instead of electing the people that have the knowledge, the experience, and the integrity to do this job justice and do the best job. So as a community, we need to change that in order to get this community going back in the direction that it deserves to go, that the people deserve it to go. I have always been honest. I have never sacrificed my integrity, and I have always done what was right, no matter how difficult that path may have been. And you know, to me, I think that ought to stand for something. So with that being said, I issue you all this challenge. Take the time to do the research for every single candidate for every position that you're going to be voting for next week. When you go to the polls Tuesday, vote for who you truly believe has the knowledge and experience and the integrity to do the best job for this community. So, Justice Court Judge in District 1, even though only the people in District 1 will be voting for this particular election, we'll be hearing cases for every district. So please, tell your family, do your research. I am confident in my abilities to make fair but just decisions. So I humbly ask that next Tuesday, when you go to that poll, take that challenge and put down on that piece of paper a check mark by who you think is going to do the best job for you. I humbly ask for your support and your vote next Tuesday for Justice Court Judge District 1. Thank you.
Big thank you to all 3 of them that are running for the, no, it was actually more than that, 5 of those folks that are running for that office. Make sure to, I hope you listened, can make some guesses, some great decisions on your voting. We're 1 week away from that. Our next man that we want to welcome here, Mississippi House District 45. You shook him up, what, about a year ago? I think they learned his name. We welcome to the microphone Mr. Michael Cassidy.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Cassidy, and I am, it's a little different than everybody else you've seen on stage because I'm fortunate enough to be the only Republican who's running in State House District 45. State House District 45 is a kind of a weird looking district. It goes from near the Coke plant in Meridian, goes all the way up 45 up through the Navy base, goes through a little bit of Kemper County. It goes up to Philadelphia and then a little bit into Winston County. Historically, it's probably voted about 53 to 57% Democrat. This past year, however, it voted 54% Republican. So it's moving Republican. And out of the 122 seats that we've got in the House that are up for election this fall, it's one of only probably about 2 or 3 that are actually going to be competitive. So it's a real good opportunity for Republicans to keep on chipping away ground from the Democrats at the state level. Unlike a lot of people here, as you've probably noticed just from listening to me talk, I'm not originally from Mississippi. I got here because of the Navy. I was here about a decade ago as a student, and then I came back in 2016 to be stationed as an instructor pilot. I got off active duty a couple years ago, but I stuck around here. I still serve in the Navy as a reserve instructor pilot, and my main job is as the senior test pilot for the T-45s up at the Navy Air Station. I stayed here because I like it here. I like my job. I like the people. One of the great things that the Mississippi Republican Party has done in its entire history happened in 2018. And that was when we passed a law that banned abortion after 15 weeks. And that bill, that law, ended up going all the way up to the Supreme Court last year, like all y'all know, and it is the reason why Roe v. Wade was overturned, is because of the Mississippi legislature, the Mississippi governor. So I started thinking last year, we've got a conservative court, relatively conservative Supreme Court. Are there some other things like Roe v. Wade that we could get overturned, that we can get changed to, maybe reverse the tide, the way things are going in our country? And the one that stuck out to me the most is one that's been near and dear to me for a while. And that's the 1962 decision, Angle v. Vitale, that made prayer in school illegal. And so what we need to do is we need to bring God back into the public sphere, back into schools with voluntary prayer, but have a law just like we did back in 2018, that where we can start to take back the culture of our country. Because the left is fighting. We know the left's been fighting for decades. And Republicans, we fought a little bit, but we haven't fought as hard as the Democrats, and that is why they are winning on just about every issue. And the side that wants to win will always beat the side that just wants to be left alone, which is what we usually want as Republicans. We want the government out of business, out of our business. We want to be able to live our lives the way that we see it. But when the left is making their own rules, they are encroaching on the nation that we grew up in. And so we've got to push back. You'll be hearing a little bit more from me in the next couple of weeks and months once I get a Democrat opponent. But in the meantime, next week, people are going to have different candidates that they want to vote for. I hope that I can earn your vote if you live in my district. But remember that even if there is a little bit of negative campaign in one way or the other, at the end of the day, we're all Republicans. We're all Republicans, and then come August 9th, we're going to have a winner, unless there's a runoff. And then if we have a runoff, we'll have a winner after the runoff. But then we've got to be united come November 7th and make sure that we get Republicans elected straight across the board. I'm really grateful for Tyler and the whole Lauderdale County Republican Executive Committee for putting this event together. I look forward to more events like this in the future, that we can continue to build and grow the Republican Party here in East Mississippi. Thank you all for your time, and I hope I can earn your vote, and have a good rest of the evening. Thank you.
Appreciate that. One thing that I've discovered after being married for 33 years, I ain't skinny no more. I tried to find me a skinny shirt and it didn't work. The only thing that I've figured out that works is the darker it gets up here, the skinnier I look. So I think we need to have all this stuff a little bit later in the evening from now on. As we get ready to close out, as we've listened to our candidates, I want to invite up our Senator, Jeff Tate.
Thank y'all. I promise you I will be quick, okay? First of all, in closing, I want to say thank y'all. I didn't have an opponent sign up against me, so 4 more years. I appreciate the last 4 being able to serve you. Look forward to the next 4. Number 1, I want to say we need to thank all of our candidates over here. Listen, these people are going through a lot right now. Their families are going through a lot right now. They are putting up their time, they're putting up their money, they're putting up their reputation on the line. Y'all go easy on these guys. I would say be informed on what you're going to vote for. I'm going to encourage everybody to vote, but you don't have to vote the full ballot. If there's a race that you're not sure about, you can skip it. That's fine. The rest of your ballot will count. So be informed. A few more thank yous. We want to say a special thank you to the Lauderdale County Executive Committee for putting this on. We want to say a special thank you to Tyler Norman, to Julia Norman, to Mr. Charlie Ballou. Let's give them all a hand for putting this together. I'll be quick. Like I said, I'm not here for any votes right now, but I will be in 4 years. And I just want to tell you what we've done in your legislature for the last 4 years. What we've done is we've put together some conservative legislature, and we're fighting against this woke liberal ideology that's attacking us. It's attacking at our core principles, and it's demonic, if you ask me. Some of the things that we've done is we've banned CRT in schools. We've paid off over $50 million worth of debt. We haven't borrowed any money for the state this year, last year, and that is the plan coming up next year. I think in the history of Mississippi over the last several decades, it's only happened 1 time. We've done it twice. Can you believe this? We had to ban transgender mutilating surgery, but I'm so glad that we got that done. They were actually doing that in Jackson. We blocked porn from schools to be able to get into their libraries. I couldn't believe that that was something that happened. I actually authored the bill for banning ballot harvesting. That's where people actually handle other people's ballots. So we have that ban now. There's a lawsuit. We really made the Democrats mad, so they sued us over it. It'll go in court. We've reduced the amount of actual state workers that we have, so our payroll's less by about 3,000 workers. We have paper ballots now. We have better ways to purge our rolls. We've allowed teachers in our schools through special training to be able to actually have a firearm on them. Probably the worst tragedy we hear about in the news is a school shooting. And the fact is, the last one that happened in Nashville, we know from that person what they wrote in their manifesto, that they chose that school because that school did not have security. Now, if they know in Mississippi they have security, they'll go somewhere else. We had the largest tax decrease in Mississippi state history, but we got a long ways to go. I don't want you to think I'm satisfied with where we went. And we've also allowed for tax credits for adopting families. I've got a long list here. I don't want to bore y'all. I know it's time for y'all to go. I appreciate y'all coming out. I appreciate y'all. Vote Republican. Thank y'all.
Again, on behalf of the Republican Party, let me thank each and every one of y'all for coming out and being a part of this. First time to get this rolling. God bless you. We'll see you live tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I hope you'll join us. Scotty Ray Nody. Well, as we wrap up, this has been quite the evening of what we've had here. A lot of folks have come out. They've spoke to you. I hope that it's made a big decision for you and how you're going to vote. What do you think, Odie?
Man, I was impressed with the amount of people who came here. We kept an eye on the amount of people who's watching from home, and we're impressed with that. And I just think that there's some power around this election time. Go and vote is the most precious thing we can do. It is. And I think that everybody turning out here, man, it was a great evening. And I learned a lot. I really did.
Yeah, it's been fun. And you know, another thing that we learned out of this is we were testing equipment tonight. You're going to be able to see us more and more around town doing more things like this.
You know, this was awesome. It's something we've been talking about, trying to get out to where we can come to these events, bring these events to you. So this was kind of a test. Man, it went great. It was flawless, and I can't wait to me and you going on the road and doing more and bringing more stuff to each and every one of y'all.
Look forward to it, and thank y'all, each and every one of you, for watching at home. And again, as we said, we'll be up bright and early at 6:30, and then the morning show will kick off at 7 a.m.
7 o'clock. We love y'all. Thank y'all, and we'll see you in the morning.